Heracles' birth and youth. In the days of antiquity, there lived a man of remarkable lineage. Born to Alcmene, the wife of Amphitryon, and sired by none other than Zeus, the king of the gods himself, Heracles was destined for greatness. His bloodline traced back to Perseus, the legendary hero who had walked the earth in ages past. The tale of Heracles began within the grand walls of Thebes, where Alcmene resided with her husband Amphitryon. It was in this city that the child was born, within the very palace of his stepfather, Amphitryon. But Heracles was no ordinary child, for even in his infancy, he was marked by the looming shadow of Hera's wrath. Hera held an unrelenting grudge against those who dared to rival her husband Zeus's affections. Alcmene, ever watchful of this vengeful deity, decided to protect her innocent child from Hera's wrath. She entrusted the infant Heracles to a loyal servant, with strict instructions to abandon him in a field. She held the belief that the divine lineage of Zeus would not be forsaken by the gods for long. It was by fate's hand that Hera and Pallas Athene happened to pass by that very field. The cries of the exposed child reached their ears, and their hearts were moved with pity. Athene, her maternal instincts awakened, took the infant in her arms and persuaded Hera to offer the child her breast. However, Heracles' divine strength caused Hera great pain, and in her anger, she flung the child to the ground, leaving him behind. Athene, driven by compassion, took the abandoned baby to Alcmene, pleading for her help. Alcmene, at once, recognized her son and took him into her embrace with joy. Hera, in her relentless jealousy, later discovered her mistake. Consumed by rage, she devised a wicked plan. She sent 2 venomous snakes into Heracles' chamber, hoping to end the child's life. The serpents slithered, unnoticed, to the cradle where the young hero slept. Startled by their presence, Heracles awoke and, with superhuman strength, strangled both snakes with his bare hands. Alcmene and her attendants rushed to the scene, finding the lifeless reptiles in the grasp of the infant Heracles. Amphitryon, drawn to the commotion, witnessed this incredible display of strength. He believed that the child must be a gift from Zeus, destined for greatness. Seeking guidance, Amphitryon consulted the venerable seer Tiresias, who revealed Heracles' divine parentage and prophesied a bright future for the young hero. Determined to prepare Heracles for his remarkable destiny, Amphitryon arranged for the finest tutors. He himself taught the young hero charioteering, while Eurytus trained him in archery. Autolycus instructed him in the arts of wrestling and boxing, and Castor taught him the ways of armed warfare. Linus, the son of Apollo, shared the secrets of music and letters with the budding hero. Heracles proved a gifted and diligent student, but his fiery temper would not be tamed. One day, an impatient Linus resorted to blows to correct him. Enraged, Heracles seized his lyre and, with a single, fatal blow, ended his tutor's life. Fearing further acts of violence, Amphitryon sent Heracles to the countryside, under the care of a trusted herdsman. It was here, amidst nature's grandeur, that Heracles blossomed into manhood. His stature and strength grew to astounding levels, becoming the talk of the land. His skill with spear, lance, and bow was unmatched, and by the age of 18, he was renowned as not only the strongest but also the most handsome youth in all of Greece. The choice of Heracles. The moment of decision had arrived for Heracles. Gifted with extraordinary powers by the divine hands of the gods, he felt the need to chart his own course. To ponder this crucial matter, he retreated into the heart of a solitary forest, far away from the clamor of the world. Amidst the tranquil wilderness, 2 beguiling figures emerged, both endowed with beauty. One was Vice, her allure enhanced by artificial wiles, adorned in gaudy attire and a painted visage. The other was Virtue, noble in demeanor, her robes radiant in spotless purity. Vice stepped forth, her words laced with cunning charm. "Choose my path," she whispered, "and I shall be your companion. You shall bask in the unending pleasures and delights this world has to offer. The finest feasts, the most exquisite wines, and the most luxurious of resting places shall be yours without effort, be it physical or mental." Now, Virtue spoke her piece, her voice resonating with wisdom. "If you embrace me and make me your ally," she said, "you shall reap the rewards of a pure conscience and the respect and love of your fellow mortals. But, be aware, my path is not paved with roses, nor will I grant you a life of indolence and leisure. The gods grant no blessings that come without labor, and as you sow, so shall you reap." Heracles lent a patient ear to both voices, carefully considering their counsel. After deep reflection, he chose to walk the path of virtue. Henceforth, he resolved to honor the gods and dedicate his life to the service of his homeland. Carrying his newfound resolve, he returned to his rustic abode. However, as he made his way back, he encountered the heralds of Erginus, the king of the Minions, en route to Thebes to demand the annual tribute of 100 oxen. Filled with indignation at the humiliation of his city, Heracles took drastic action. He mutilated the heralds and sent them back to their ruler with ropes tied around their necks. Erginus, furious at this affront, gathered an army and laid siege to the gates of Thebes, demanding the surrender of Heracles. Creon, who reigned as king of Thebes at that time, feared the consequences of refusal and was on the verge of yielding. However, Heracles, aided by Amphitryon and a band of valiant youths, confronted the minions. Taking control of a narrow pass, Heracles positioned his forces to intercept the enemy. As the minions entered the defile, the Thebans fell upon them, vanquishing King Erginus and scattering his troops. It was in this fierce battle that Amphitryon, Heracles' kind-hearted friend and foster father, met his tragic end. With victory in hand, Heracles pressed forward to the capital of the Minions. There, he set fire to the royal castle and looted the town. News of the young hero's triumph spread like wildfire throughout all of Greece. In gratitude for his remarkable deeds, Creon offered him the hand of his daughter Megara in marriage. The Olympian gods, too, showed their appreciation for Heracles' valor, gifting him with tokens of their favor. Hermes presented him a sword, Apollo arrows, Hephaestus a golden quiver, and Athena a leather cape. Heracles and Eurystheus. Just before Heracles' birth, the fate of the hero was intricately woven into the threads of divine proclamations. In an assembly of the gods, Zeus, the king of the Olympians, boldly declared that the child born on that day to the lineage of Perseus would one day reign over all his kin. Hera, Zeus's queen and a formidable rival of Alcmene, perceived the true intention of this grand destiny. It was meant for the offspring of her rival. She enlisted the goddess Eileithyia, who delayed Heracles' birth, allowing his cousin Eurystheus, another grandson of Perseus, to enter the world first. Thus, by Zeus's unalterable decree, Heracles was destined to be a subject and servant to his cousin Eurystheus. As Heracles' fame rippled across Greece, thanks to his victorious triumph over Erginus, Eurystheus, now the king of Mycenae, grew envious of the young hero's reputation. He asserted his rights and commanded Heracles to undertake a series of daunting tasks on his behalf. However, the prideful spirit of Heracles bristled against this humiliation, and he nearly refused to comply. But then, Zeus himself appeared to him, urging him not to defy the fates. Resolving to abide by destiny's course, Heracles sought guidance at Delphi, consulting the oracle for answers. The oracle's response was clear: Heracles must complete 10 tasks for Eurystheus, and only then would his servitude come to an end. Not long after this revelation, Heracles fell into the depths of despair, consumed by melancholy. Under the insidious influence of his implacable foe, Hera, his despondency spiraled into a frenzied madness. In this deranged state, he committed a harrowing act, taking the lives of his own children. When clarity returned to him, he was overwhelmed by remorse and grief. He withdrew from society, locking himself in seclusion, shunning all human contact. Yet, in the solitude of his confinement, Heracles came to realize that perhaps it was work that could help him escape the haunting specter of his past. Driven by this conviction, and urged by the tasks assigned by Eurystheus, he made the solemn decision to embark on the arduous trials laid out before him. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more. Have a beautiful day and thank you for stopping by.